Hello everybody. This is the study guide for multiplication and division of fractions assessment. Here we go. Turn the page. Read the targets and then turn the page. Question number 1. Carolyn is baking 4 batches of cheese potatoes. Each batch calls for 2/3 cup of cheese. How many cups of cheese does she need? Show your thinking. To show you thinking with a visual model, I am going to create 4 batches or mixing bowls. And each will contain 2/3 cups. Whoops, 2/3. And you can just count 2, 4, 6, 8. I will need 8/3 cups, or we don't want to leave it as a improper fraction or a fraction greater than 1. We've got to turn it into a mixed number. So this will become 2 2/3 cups of cheese. To solve it mathematically, it's just 4 times 2/3. And you can think of it as 4 wholes times 2/3, which equals 8/3 again. And then we turn it into a mixed number, which is 2 2/3 cups. Turn the page. A painter bought 5 half-gallons of paint. He used 3/4 of the paint to paint the kitchen. How many gallons of paint did the painter use? I like this clue right here. He used 3/4 of the paint. So we can think of it as, what is 3/4 of 5 halves? So we know that this is a multiplication problem with that clue. So this is 3/4 times 5 halves, which equals 15/8. And we have to turn that fraction into a mixed number, and that will be 1 7/8 gallons. So this guy used 1 7/8 gallons of paint for his kitchen. Turn the page. At Les Paul Middle School, 1/2 of the students are involved in extracurricular activities. Of the students involved, 1/4 play a sport. What fraction of students at Les Paul play a sport? Show your thinking. To solve this, I can make a tape diagram. And that's kind of pretty. And I am going to say, here's Les Paul Middle School. I know that half are involved in extracurricular activities, and 1/4 of this half play a sport. So I'm going to take this and divide it into fourths. And remember, we have to consider the whole school. So we have to do this for the half that we're not talking about, but this is the half we are. So we know the size of this partition, and we can count how many partitions that are in our whole. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I know that size of the partitions will be an 8. So 1/8 of the students play sports. To solve it mathematically, we think of what is 1/4 of 1/2, and we make that a multiplication problem. And we multiply our numerator times our numerator, And our denominator times our denominator, and again we get 1/8 of the students play sports. Remember to turn the page. 1/2 of a pan of brownies will be shared equally by 4 people. What fraction of the pan will each person receive? Show your thinking. I'm going to solve this using a visual model. So I'm going to make a pan, and I know that half of it will be left, and we're just talking this part, and I'm going to be sharing that with 4 people. But remember, I had got to show that in the whole pan to know what size my partition is. So this partition is, well, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So again, we have 8s, and each person will get 1/8 of a pan of brownies. To solve this mathematically, we would say 1/2 divided by 4, which is the same as thinking 1/4 of 1/2, which equals 1/4 times 1/2, which equals 1/8 of a pan of brownies. So you have it. Remember, you have an assessment tomorrow, and hopefully you did well on this.